When Classic WoW was first announced, it was very exciting, but also pretty concerning. The second after that initial excitement settled, questions immediately flocked into our minds. What AV are we going to get? Are they going to balance any of the classes? What about the debuff limit? Oh boy, I can finally get all the world buffs before every raid, yay! Oh, how naive we were in 2017. Hello and welcome, I am Tabraxi. At the time of this video, as of this recording, Blizzard still hasn't officially announced Classic TBC yet. However, I can't help but just constantly think about it. So I have this question regularly in my mind: how should Blizzard re-release Classic TBC if it's gonna happen? It's a very complicated topic with a lot of different bullet points, but today I want to ask the question, but what about space goats and fel addicts? Let's go. Unlike Classic Vanilla, the discussions behind the content release of the TBC start before any of the max level content even begins. In fact, one of the first questions that gets raised involves level 1. Actually level 0 if you really want to be technical. When should these two new races appear on the character select screen? The release of the Dranei and the Blood Elves is surprisingly controversial. Who am I kidding? This is the Classic community. I'm pretty sure there were people who are actually up in arms about the fact that the game version on the bottom left doesn't line up with the original patch number. Okay, actually, that would be a pretty cool idea. So in the Burning Crusade, we had two new races added to the game. The exiled Eredar, known as the Dranei, who have aligned themselves with the Alliance. On the other side, we have the sexy elves that were added to the horde specifically in order to increase the population in South Korea, the Blood Elves. That's the horde population, I mean, not the actual South Korean population. These were the first races added in World of Warcraft, and with them also came the Shaman to the Alliance for the first time, as well as Paladin for the Horde. This was a groundbreaking decision that was incredibly controversial at the time, and is still the subject of much debate on whether or not it is actually better for the game as a whole or not. We won't go too deep into that conversation today, but if you don't think it was actually that contentious of a choice for Blizzard to make, then take a look at my video analyzing the state in which the heroic keys would be needed to enter the game for Classic TBC. It's almost funny how these incredibly small and seemingly meaningless decisions, the massive impacts that they can actually have on the game. Hey, I am actually remembering to plug my videos. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. So how should Blizzard release the two new races for Classic TBC? Well, there are pretty much two major thoughts here, and that would be: one is to release the Blood Elves and the Dranei as part of the pre-patch to Classic TBC, and the other camp of thought would be to do it like they did originally. Just leave it as it was, and the Blood Elves and the Dranei will be released with Classic TBC. There's also a bit of a third camp, which asks to introduce race changing into the whole shebang. Yeah, no one really takes them seriously. Both of these options are good and bad for the players in their own unique ways. Let's take a look at the pre-patch option first, since that would be a real change to TBC. The pre-patch would give players the opportunity to level Dranei and Blood Elves prior to the Classic TBC launch. This would allow all players to start Outland at the same time. The major downside to this change, though, is that it would allow all players to start Outland at the same time. Yeah, the Dark Portal is infamous as one of the worst bottlenecks ever in World of Warcraft. There's a reason that basically every expansion after TBC would allow players to start in at least two different options. TBC launch was a nightmare of encourage proportions and has gone down in history as mostly a failure. Let's not sugarcoat this. Anyone around for the TBC launch remembers going into that portal and being met with a login screen only to do it over again and again and again. Oh god, just let me in! However, the sheer convenience of being able to have Blood Elf Paladins and Dranei Shamans leveled with some extra little raid gear in order to dungeon grind their way to 70 with their guild is unquestionably an exciting proposition. Arguably, the only limitation to this choice is a technical one and not a design choice. If the servers can maintain everybody in one spot, then why not let the chaos ensue? Hashtag no changes, am I right, guys? Hello? Hello, guys? For the authentic TBC experience, the new races shouldn't be introduced until the actual launch of the Burning Crusade Classic. This is how it was in 2007, and how many feel it should still happen today. While many naysayers to this decision tend to argue that forcing several guildies and many players to start back over at level 1 is a bad decision that would increase burnout, I don't think that's the whole story. Think about it this way. On the large scale, this is the perfect time for someone who's left Classic to return and level fresh. We all like our fresh, right? With the wave of Belf and Dranei leveling, there would now be 2 major leveling waves, those in Outland and those in Azeroth. What a perfect time to re-roll, even if it's not to one of the 2 new races. That, or what a perfect time to actually come join Classic WoW in general. What about boosting, you may ask? Well, outside multi-boxers, there's a strong chance that boosting would diminish massively during this new leveling experience from level 1. Think about it this way, most guilds aren't going to go back and boost their guildies from 1 to 60 when they could be getting a head start and securing their raid spot. Despite the fact that boosting your guildies would arguably be the best choice for the team, there's an expectation that the person now leveling from fresh will do whatever's necessary to hit 70 ASAP anyway, possibly by multi-boxing. While we can't stop multi-boxing, as Blizzard has deemed it within the rules, there is yet another caveat to that boosting scene here though. Mages really tend to lose their boosting potential around this time because the AoE cap will have now entered the game. Yeah, despite the fact that mages will still be able to farm pretty well during TBC, their ability to be the unrivaled AoE gods that can clear instances of one pull, well, that starts to disappear. In fact, arguably the best boosting class during TBC will be Paladins instead. This will be a huge advantage for all of the Alliance whom already have Paladins. But for the Horde, all your Paladins are going to be level 1, so I mean, good luck finding that Paladin boost. I don't want to diminish how bad it can feel to have to start over at level 1 in order to play the new class though. Despite the fact that your Dranei Shaman is going to be guaranteed into every single group in every form of content ever made, hearing your guildies having fun and enjoying all of the new content while you're back in Uldaman grinding away can be a real drag. I knew several people who gave up on playing Paladin for their guild back in the day, around the time when they hit like level 30 or so. Despite that, I think I have to settle on Blizzard's best choice being to release the new races just the way they did in TBC. Keep in mind, this conclusion actually wasn't my original intention. When I started writing notes for this script, I was planning on making the argument that Blizzard should release Dranei and Blood Elves during the pre-patch. In fact, I still wouldn't be upset if they did. Massive technical problems notwithstanding, I think this could be a fine choice. However, as I embarked on this script, I started to see all the benefits to the game as a whole if the classes are held for launch day. I think it would be best for the current, the returning, and future Classic WoW players if Blizzard created this new wave of fresh leveling experiences. Yes, it would be inconvenient for many, but the experiences would be rejuvenated for so many more. Thank you so much for watching one of my videos again. I really do appreciate it. If you think that I maybe left something out or you want to discuss this a bit further, please drop a comment down below. I say this every video, but I really do mean it. Replying, responding, and having a conversation with you all is my favorite part of this whole process. It's very easily become the thing that I look forward to every time I hit that upload button. It means a lot. If you also liked the video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It helps me see what direction, what kind of video people like. And if you dislike it, that's fine. Give it a whap. Tell me that I sucked, dude. I had a lot of people tell me that about the cash shop video. So keep it coming. Thanks. With that out of the way though, thank you very much. Happy gaming. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!